for the survival of our species, we need to do something about climate change. And the only way we're going to have the power to do that is through a stronger labor movement that is better organized, more militant.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I just wanted to throw this article out there because I thought it was interesting and it was kind of a new take on something we've discussed on the show before. The article is Salt the Earth by Andrew Ahern, I believe is his name. And he's a freelance writer based in New England. But basically the premise of this article is that if you are a young person looking to fight climate change, you should consider a job in a strategic industry to try to organize new unions or revitalize old ones and advocate for green pro-labor policies. Because the fight for a livable future can't be won without organized labor. So, we've talked about salting on the show plenty of times. Salting is when you get a job with basically the express purpose to organize. You can go work at a non-union Starbucks, for example, right? Starbucks is a national campaign. There's been plenty of stores to organize, but there's plenty of stores that have not organized. So if you were interested in salting, I would say it's one of the most powerful things you could do to make a difference in this world and in this country and in this economy would be to go and organize. So it could be that you go and get a different job, with that express purpose. It could be that you go to a place that already has a union. A lot of times salting is thinking about new organizing and starting a new union. But we really need people who will go and get jobs in union places with the express intent of organizing and building power within that union. So this article, Salt the Earth in Jacobin, is talking about this from the perspective of climate change and how, if you remember back in 2019, there was a lot of climate protests. There was a lot of legislation happening around the world. Public consciousness on climate change was raised. And it seemed like, climate justice was getting some momentum. But then obviously we had the pandemic. A lot of in-person things ground to a halt. A lot of the protesting ground to a halt. And, there was a big focus on policy, trying to work within the Joe Biden administration to advance climate policy. But this is really thinking of, well, if we're gonna secure the massive policy changes that are required to effectively combat climate change, which we have to do, right? Like for the survival of our species, we need to do something about climate change, and it's going to take some pretty drastic measures. The only way we're going to have the power to do that is through a stronger labor movement that is better organized, more militant, and is really, playing a leading role in a coalition to win these better policies on the climate and environment.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
So that was something that he brings out in this article and really talks a little bit about what is salting, shows where it's been successful, how it has, not just in the Starbucks campaign, but also REI, Amazon, other campaigns, owe some credit to salting. And so there's opportunities to go and salt in industries where it may have a strategic connection to climate. It may also be the opportunity to get in green energy jobs and turn those into good union jobs, right? Because just because a job is green, quote unquote, doesn't make it a good job necessarily. And so that is something that could be looked at. But also just getting involved in labor and pushing labor to be more involved on these issues. There's often a lot of tension between labor and the environment, particularly with the building trades, but also fossil fuel dependent unions, right? Who are looking at their short-term survival versus, long-term impacts of climate change. And so we do absolutely need more rank and file activists in this movement. I think if you are passionate about climate change, there's a lot of routes you can take for your activism. But I would say that what this article suggests in terms of getting a job in a strategic sector, getting involved in the labor movement, and bringing your passion for the climate and for the environment into the labor movement is a really good idea. And I would, caution you to know that you're going to face some obstacles, and you're going to learn some of the ins and outs of union democracy, and some places where it's better than others. But absolutely, it's an opportunity to have conversations with regular working people, your coworkers. It's an opportunity to influence these institutions that you and your coworkers run together. And in the big picture, leverage these institutions to secure broader social change. So I thought that was really interesting. It was, not something I had really seen a whole lot of talking about salting in the context of the climate crisis. But I'm all for more salting. I think anyone listening, if you have the ability to organize in your workplace, you should. If you don't, for whatever reason, you should consider, can you find a job in a workplace that can be organized, or can you find a job that is already organized and get involved in a union, even if it's a sleepy union? Maybe that's your opportunity to build something and make something stronger and better. So yeah, I didn't have a whole lot more to say on it beyond that. I just thought it was interesting. And I wanted to lift that up for folks. If climate change is your passion, absolutely, there's a place for you in the labor movement. And we need your passion here in this movement.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.